Growing your own food at home is a very special feeling. Imagine stepping into your garden and picking fresh fruits. Grapes are a fantastic choice for home gardening. They are not just tasty, but also look beautiful growing on vines. Having your own grapes means you know exactly what went into growing them. No unknown chemicals, just pure natural goodness. This makes them healthier for you and your family. Plus, the joy of watching a tiny plant grow into a fruit-bearing vine is truly unmatched. It is a rewarding hobby that brings you closer to nature and provides delicious treats. Gardening itself is a wonderful activity. It helps you relax and forget your daily worries. Working with soil and plants can be very calming. For children, it is a great way to learn about nature. They can see how food grows and understand the importance of patience. Growing grapes, with their climbing vines and juicy bunches, adds an extra layer of excitement. You can create a lovely green space in your balcony or backyard. The vines can provide shade and make your home look even more beautiful. It is a hobby that gives back so much, from fresh fruit to a peaceful mind. Homegrown grapes are truly a win-win. They are fun to grow, healthy to eat, and good for the earth. It is an adventure waiting in your backyard. Grapes are sun-loving plants, truly they are. They need plenty of bright sunshine to grow well and produce sweet fruits. Think about places famous for grapes. They are usually sunny and warm. Your grapevines will need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every single day. If you have a spot in your garden that gets sun for most of the day, that is perfect. A south-facing wall or slope is often ideal because it gets maximum sun exposure. Less sunlight can lead to fewer grapes, and the ones that do grow might not be very sweet. The temperature also plays a big role in how happy your grapes will be. Grapes generally prefer warm weather, especially during their growing season. They thrive in regions where summers are long, warm, and dry, and winters are not too harsh. Extreme cold can damage the vines, particularly young plants. If you live in an area with very cold winters, you might need to choose a cold, hardy grape variety. Understanding these weather needs will help you give your grapes the best possible start in your home garden. The foundation for healthy grapevines is good soil. Grapes are quite adaptable, but they do have their preferences. They generally prefer soil that drains well. This means that water should not stand around the roots for long periods. If the soil stays too wet, the roots can rot, and the plant will not be healthy. Sandy loam or gravelly soils are often ideal because they allow excess water to drain away easily. Heavy clay soils, which hold a lot of water, can be more challenging for grapes. You can improve your soil to make it more grape-friendly. Add organic matter like compost or well-rotted manure. This helps to improve the soil structure and drainage. Grapes also prefer a soil pH that is slightly acidic to neutral. For grapes, a pH range of about 5.5 to 7.0 is generally considered good. Preparing the soil well is like building a strong foundation for a house. Growing grapes from seeds can be a long adventure. It is not the most common way, but it can be very rewarding. First, you need to get good quality grape seeds. You can buy them from a reliable supplier, or even try seeds from grapes you really enjoyed eating. However, be aware that grapes grown from seeds might not be exactly like the parent fruit. The seeds will need a special treatment called stratification before they can germinate. This mimics the natural winter conditions they need. You need to keep the seeds in a cold and moist environment for a few months. After the cold treatment, it is time to plant your seeds. You can start them indoors in small pots or seed trays. Fill the pots with a good quality seed starting mix. Plant 1 or 2 seeds in each pot, about ½ an inch deep. Water them gently and keep the soil consistently moist. Place the pots in a warm, sunny spot. Germination can take a few weeks or sometimes even a few months, so patience is key here. Once the seedlings have grown a few leaves and are strong enough, they can be transplanted. Section 5. A faster way growing grapes from cuttings. If you want grapes sooner, growing them from cuttings is a much faster method. A cutting is a piece of stem taken from an existing healthy grapevine. The best part is that grapes grown from cuttings will be identical to the parent plant. The best time to take cuttings is during the dormant season. This is usually in late winter or early spring, before the buds start to swell. Choose healthy, year-old canes that are about the thickness of a pencil. Preparing the cuttings is an important step. Each cutting should be about 12 to 18 inches long. It should have at least 3 to 4 buds on it. Make a straight cut at the bottom, just below a bud. Make a slanted cut at the top, about an inch above a bud. Some gardeners like to dip the bottom end of the cutting in rooting hormone. Now it is time to plant your cuttings. You can plant them directly in their permanent spot in the garden if the soil is well prepared, or you can start them in pots filled with good potting mix. Section 6. Quenching thirst. Watering your grapevines. Just right. Watering your grapevines correctly is very important for their health and fruit production. Young grapevines, especially in their first year, need regular watering. Their root systems are still developing. They need consistent moisture to establish themselves properly in the new soil. You should water them deeply whenever the top inch or two of soil feels dry to the touch. Aim to moisten the soil to a good depth, encouraging the roots to grow downwards. Once your grapevines are established, usually after the first year or two, their watering needs change. Mature grapevines have deeper root systems. They are more resilient to dry conditions. In fact, grapes often produce better quality fruit if they experience a little bit of water stress, especially as the grapes start to ripen. Too much water at this stage can dilute the sugars in the fruit, making them less sweet. The amount of water your grapes need also depends on your climate and soil type. Using mulch around your vines can also help conserve soil moisture and reduce watering frequency. Section 7. Shaping for success. The art of pruning grapes. Pruning is a must-do task for growing healthy and productive grapevines. It might seem a bit scary at first, cutting parts of your plant, but trust me, it is essential for getting a good crop of grapes. Without regular pruning, grapevines can become a tangled mess of leaves and stems. They will produce lots of foliage, but very few small grapes. Pruning helps to control the size and shape of the vine. It also encourages the plant to put its energy into producing high-quality fruit rather than just more leaves and wood. The main pruning is usually done in late winter or early spring. This is when the vine is dormant, meaning it is not actively growing. At this time, you can easily see the structure of the vine without all the leaves. The goal of pruning is to remove most of the previous year's growth. This might sound drastic, but grapes produce fruit on new shoots that grow from one-year-old wood called canes. Section 8. Keeping troubles away. Protecting your grape plants. Even with the best care, your grapevines might sometimes face problems from pests or diseases. Being aware of common issues can help you act quickly. This will protect your precious plants and your future harvest. Some common pests that might trouble grapes include aphids, Japanese beetles, and grape leaf skeletonizers. Fungal diseases are also quite common in grapes. Powdery mildew and downy mildew are two frequent culprits. They often appear as a white or grayish powder or fuzzy growth on leaves and fruit, especially in humid conditions. Prevention is always better than cure when it comes to plant problems. Good garden hygiene is very important. Make sure to clean up fallen leaves and debris around your vines. This removes places where pests and disease spores can hide over winter. Proper pruning, as we discussed, also helps. Section 9. Sweet victory. Harvesting and enjoying your grapes. The moment you have been waiting for all season is finally here, harvesting your homegrown grapes. Knowing when to pick your grapes is key to getting the best flavor. Grapes do not continue to ripen after they are picked from the vine, unlike some other fruits, so you need to harvest them when they are perfectly ripe. The best way to tell is by tasting them. Look for grapes that have reached their full color, deep purple, red, or green-yellow depending on the variety. They should also feel slightly soft to the touch, and most importantly, taste sweet and flavorful. When you are ready to harvest, use a pair of clean, sharp scissors or pruning shears. Cut the entire cluster from the vine. Try not to pull the grapes off, as this can damage the fruit or the vine. It is best to harvest on a dry day. If you pick grapes when they are wet from rain or dew, they are more likely to spoil quickly. Handle the clusters gently to avoid bruising the delicate fruit. Homegrown grapes, picked at their peak ripeness, are a true delight.